970. And you know the deal. I always thank you guys and gals for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. So welcome one and all. It is 10:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 22nd, 2016. And something I've been kind of warning people about seems to have taken place. And that is, if you could see by the title of this video, um, Trump will not be investigating Hillary, and he will not be putting her in jail just like he went on his campaign. And this really bothers me. And I'm going to show a little clip of a video so you can hear it yourself, so it's not just something I'm making up. And of course, with fair use, I can only show a little bit of it, and that's perfectly fine. Um, I will post the link in the description below so you can check it out yourself. And let's just put this on so you can hear a little bit of the clip. Let me make sure first the volume's up, otherwise you won't be able to hear it. Give me a second. And here we go.
Let's talk about some other confusion now that's emerging. During the campaign, he pledged to prosecute Hillary Clinton. Today, he said he wouldn't do that. He's taking it off the table. He doesn't want to, quote, hurt the Clintons, and prosecuting Hillary Clinton, he said in his words in this New York Times interview, would be very divisive for the country. You want to clarify what he intends to do?
Okay, so we're going to stop it right there. If you want to watch the rest of that person's video, it's Your Hot News 2017. I've posted the link in the description so you could see it for yourself if you want to watch the whole 10-minute video. But I wanted to show that clip. See, this is the problem that I want people to be very diligent about. I've been trying to tell people for the longest time that no matter who is in office, they are not there for your best interest. They will tell you everything you want to hear. They are snake oil salesmen, and their job is to keep you in their corporation so they can extract your energy, extract your money, and extract your ability to create labor for them. And already, one of the biggest things that I said, and I said this a while ago, I said, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. But something like Hillary, where he, you watch the second debate, where he made that famous line, you'd be in jail. Well, what a surprise. That is not going to happen. And he's placating to the other people, saying that it causes too much of division. So, all I can say to everybody that listens to my channel for the right reasons is, I have been telling people to prepare for events in case they happen. That is not doom and gloom. That is not fear porn. That is being prepared for any kind of situation just in case they happen. And plenty of people, just this year alone, have seen things in a way that they've never seen before. That doesn't happen by accident. So, if you are not even president yet, and you are already saying that you're not going to prosecute, because like I've said, they are friends. He invited Hillary to his wedding. They've known each other for decades. He's even said that. I have a video where he says it in his own mouth, from his own mouth. So these are the things we have to be careful about. People are so dependent on leaders, they forget to lead themselves. And I made a statement on my Facebook page the other day about the fact that people are so worried about everyone else and what they think about them. That they forget themselves. They forget to love themselves. They forget to understand or understand the true power that they have. You don't need leaders. I mean, if it's somebody in your family or somebody you know you could trust because they've been there, that's different. But if we, as a quote-unquote civilized society, are going to continually hand the keys to the car to a person that, or persons that do not take care of the car, they will destroy it, they will steal it, they will ruin it, they will not return it, and even if they do, they don't return it the same way they did. If we keep giving them the keys and say, here, drive for us, we are responsible for our choices. And I've tried for so long to get people to see that you don't need leaders. Now, of course, we need policy. I'm not going to sit here and say, it's a free for all, just run around, do what you want. I mean, there has to be consequences for doing the wrong thing. But these quote unquote leaders are not going to give you all the things that they say. They will always come up with excuses. And I fear that in 2017, and I don't really fear it because I don't live in fear, so maybe that's a bad choice of words. We'll put it this way. I will not be shocked if 2017 is a year that will live in infamy, so to speak. Because there's just too many things that are happening right now. And to me, that's one of the reasons why I wanted Donald Trump to be president. Not because I thought he was the best candidate. Was he better than Clinton? I guess that remains to be seen, but from what he was saying, it appeared so. But I wanted him to become president for a different reason. Excuse me. And I've made this statement before. That look at how much he's changed in the media, the way we think, how many people got involved this time around, how many people that never voted before went and participated in this scam. Changed the media forever, made people understand that it's corrupt, so there's good that's coming out of this. But if after all of this, with all the promises and all the wonderful speeches and all the things that they said they would do and how everything changed, if nothing changes and things stay the same just with a different leader, this should tell people that these people are not going to do anything but run us into the ground. And there are people talking about things like Agenda 21 at this point, talking about like them eventually introducing aliens. Now, I know as crazy as that sounds, if you actually research the owner of Facebook, I think his name is, whatever his name is, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, Zuckerberg. They actually have been putting in multi-millions of dollars into alien research. So as crazy as it sounds, to me, if you look up Agenda 21, and I talked about this years ago, I mean, I'm talking back in 2011, 2012 on my old channel, there's just so many things that could potentially happen. And we are putting our trust in these people to do the right thing. So if you don't know about Agenda 21, look it up. And again, that's not about being afraid. It's about knowing what's ahead in case it happens. It's like driving on a road that you're not familiar with in stormy weather. You kind of want to know where you're going so you could prepare for the twists and turns ahead, so it gives you the better chance of being a safer driver. And that's all I'm saying. So this does not shock me that Donald Trump is basically going to give her a free pass. And what that says is, if you are part of the elitist system, you can get away with crimes that you and I cannot. So they want to spin it as, we don't want to cause problems, it's too much of a separation and we want to set a good example. But what that says is, this person was caught doing all of these crimes and they're going to get away scot-free. And we're supposed to be okay with this. This does not surprise me because, like I said, if you look at symbolism, and I used to talk about this for years, symbolism is a lost art because for centuries, the average person did not read and write. Even kings and queens couldn't read and write. So how did people like the church, because the church is what had laws that were written. That's why at some point we supposedly had separation of church and state. But they were the ones that wrote all the laws. And they definitely made sure they were, you were punished for them. That's why you look at things like the days of the Middle Ages and all of the inquisitions and things like that, and the holy wars. Religion plays a lot bigger part than just what they make you think. They're in control of more than you think. But they had the majority of people not intelligent enough to read and write. So how did you pass laws and make them understand them? Well, you had to do symbolism. For example, if I take a cigarette and put a circle with a line through it, that means no smoking. If you see a truck behind you with just a red cross, you know that's an ambulance, even if you can't read the word that says ambulance. So it's to get people to know what to do and not be able to read and still understand it. So when you're driving in your car and you see a green colored light go yellow and then red, you know when that color red happens, you are to stop. Now, it doesn't tell you to stop. You don't read anything, you just are programmed by the color. So when I talk about symbolism in government, I've always used the bald eagle, which is our national bird, our symbolism of this country. And you'll see that a eagle has two wings, and they tend to be spread apart. So it gives the illusion of separation. And if you compare it to government, you have the same thing. You have a left wing and you have a right wing. And when the wings are spread out, they look very far apart. They look like they're separate entities. But if you follow them inward, they attach to the same bird. And this is what we have in government. That's why you have a left wing and a right wing. You don't have any other people that even have a remote chance of becoming president. And like I said, the freedom of choice. So you had the choice, and people were saying, well, Trump is better than Hillary, or Hillary was better than Trump. And that's saying my left fist punching you in the face might feel a little bit better than my right fist because I'm right-handed. But you're not going to sit there and be happy with this. So trust me, I wish I was wrong. I wish Donald Trump would have, the first thing he did was lock her up for this and show an example. But he's not. They're protecting their own. He is a billionaire for a reason. He wasn't assassinated for a reason. Because I'm sure when he went to the White House and had that wonderful meeting with Obama, and he said it was supposed to be 12 minutes, it lasted for an hour or two, they probably showed him a few things that are eye-openers, because even a presidential-elect, he's privy to all information that the president gets. So I'm sure they kind of reminded him what will happen to people that don't follow in line. So Hillary is going to get away with the things that she's done. And we had a person that totally took advantage of the lock her up thing. I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize, because you need real eyes to realize, that these people in the media, over in Hollywood, the politicians, the leaders of the corporations, they are all there for their best interests. And the only way they can continue to steal from you is by pretending they care about you. Because if they all said, oh, screw you, we're going to kill you, or we're going to rob you, or we've been cheating you all this time, people wouldn't allow it. Even the sleepiest of sheep would get it at that point. So that whole, and Sean says, lock her up. Well, you could chant that all you want, it's not going to happen. And you could thank our government and thank these people who will tell you everything that you want to hear, so you'll get that sense of patriotism and you'll take your eye off the ball. The Federal Reserve is going to continue to borrow money to our country to put us further and further in debt. They reap the benefits because of all that currency they borrow. They can gamble on Wall Street and make themselves wealthier and wealthier, hand us the bill, and we somehow thank them for it because it's our duty. It's not. But like I've said, if you don't argue, it's the same as consent. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up, even in this quote-unquote truther community. How many people were saying Trump is the answer? If you want to believe that, hold on to that. But by the time you realize that's not it, it's going to be too late to do anything about it. For this system to be what we want, we have to, like a computer, when a computer has a virus, one that is going to corrupt your system, sometimes you have to scratch everything, reboot it, and start over again. And yeah, Sean, I know you are being sarcastic and everything, but I'm just saying, that was the chant that he ran with for months, encouraging people. Didn't stop them, didn't say before he was quote-unquote elected, Oh, we're not going to prosecute her because we don't want to send that message, because that probably would have made it a lot more difficult. So Hillary Clinton was evil. Donald Trump is going to be the charismatic person who will guide you off the cliff. So we went from a slave master we didn't like to a slave master we will like. But you won't like them for long when you realize you're still a slave. And they want to focus on the division, because divide and conquer makes us all fight amongst ourselves, so we worry about things like feminism and homophobia and all these things that didn't matter a year or two ago, not to this extent. And we were all just regular human beings, fellow brothers and sisters, but now we're so focused on these things that make us so emotionally angry that we allow them to continue to do these things. And make no mistake, most laws get passed during holidays. Now, obviously, Trump can't pass any laws yet, but Obama's still in office. And he will be for the rest of this year. And if we keep take our eyes off the ball, it's going to be eventually game over for us. And I don't mean in the death destruction way. I mean losing more and more of your freedoms, losing more and more of your voice. And I've warned people that they eventually will start controlling the internet. And I've already shown proof, and there are many other channels that are like mine, that are talking about their views being manipulated, and how people get unsubscribed from the channels, and how they can't hit the like button, and they can't share it, and it can't be viewed in some countries. They're already slowly starting to silence us, and one day channels like mine will be shut down completely. And that's why I've been prepared for this for years. And the things that I've talked about years ago, people used to laugh at me saying, oh, Chris is crazy. I talked about 5 years ago about how the media is corrupt, how the politicians are corrupt. I used to get laughed at all the time. Well, a few just continually laugh because they're just idiots, or they're paid to be idiots, but they're traitors nonetheless. But these things don't shock me. So what happens from here is going to depend on the very few people that are, I can't say fortunate enough, but at least are here. Because obviously my message is never going to get viral. It's never going to go mainstream. Because they don't want people with common sense to speak out to the public. You cannot program somebody with logic and common sense, because then none of these channels would be ever functional. And I'm talking about places like CNN and ABC and NBC, and yes, even Fox News. Because like I've said before, if you follow the money, you will find out that Fox News is owned by a Saudi Arabian prince, who also owns Twitter. So Trump, he may talk about the Federal Reserve, but let's see if he makes Executive Order 11110 happen, or creates his own. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. They're going to make it easier for wealthy people to stay wealthy, because they can only control people if you are dependent on them. And Sean, I understand what you're saying. You said you're stupid at this point if you don't see what's going on. I would say it's more naivety and more trusting. I mean, we want to trust. People want to trust their leaders. And Sean Sign says, do we barter in Bitcoin or gold of our own? I would always recommend gold over Bitcoin, and the very reason is, if they control the internet, how are you changing your Bitcoins? Because eventually they're going to control the internet more and more. And if they shut it down, or just the very least, if the electricity goes out, how do you exchange your Bitcoins? You could see, supposedly by WikiLeaks, can go into highly classified government computers and steal their information. You don't think there are people out there that cannot find your Bitcoins and take them from you if they really wanted them bad enough? So I've told people about Bitcoins. It's a digital currency. It's one of those, what I think is a test for the one world currencies. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. You know, humans do have that ability to be wrong. But unlike the mainstream media, I'm not afraid to question things instead of just going with the script. Because that's what they do. They read a script. They fight with each other, so it's a good drama. And that's why the video I made 2 nights or 3 nights ago has 1,300 views, and the next one I did about Don't Worry has less than half of that. Because people love drama, and that's what they're getting. So Bitcoins will make you money until the day they shut it down or they steal it from you. And if you don't think they can do that, good luck with it. We're making things too easy for them. We are letting them continue to run us under the ground. We're the ones that will suffer. If you research about all the underground cities and tunnels that our government has been spending our tax money on for decades to prepare for any kind of situation, do you think if it ever got to a point where it got really bad, they're going to sit there with you, fighting alongside? No, they'll be deep underground prepared. And the sad part is most people will find that funny, or they'll find that silly, or they'll find that paranoid, or they'll find that crazy, because they're just too lazy to research these things. And this is why they can get away with literally tunneling under our feet, and nobody seems to care. Or not enough people seem to care. So they're distracting you. This whole thing was a distraction. Like I said, if you know anything about religion, Satan is going to be your best friend. He's going to tell you everything you want to hear, promise you the world, and then swipe the rug from under your feet when you least expect it, and you'll sit there dumbfounded and surprised. No enemy comes at you these days by telling you their intention. They pretend to be your friends, and we somehow seem to continue to fall for it. And yes, I made many videos talking about Trump because he was a better option. But make no mistake, I was not a 100% on board Trump supporter. I was keeping my fingers crossed, wishing. But I thought the same thing when Obama came in office back in 2008. I thought he was the different one. It's just not going to happen. And it's our fault because we allow it. And that's all I could say. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to what I had to say. The link to the video where I show the clip in the beginning is in the description if you'd like to watch the whole article and subscribe to their channel, because unlike other channels, I promote the channels that I deal with. Unfortunately, other YouTube channels never promote me. They don't want to really work together, which is kind of sad, but that's their choice. There's no guarantee, or there's no reason they have to. Would it be nice if we got some kind of unity? But check out the link, subscribe to their channel if you want to. Like and share their video. Like and share mine if you want. Make your own videos. Get this message out. Make people watch it. Don't just hit the share button, because obviously YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all these, they're going to silence it. So you're going to have to physically, if you have a video of mine or anybody else's that you think is worth having people hear, and you think it could help them, sit them down and make them watch it with you. Make it like a TV special event. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. And for every 100 people you show, maybe you get one person that says, wow, I need to change my life. Well, you know what? You did something good. So don't worry about the amounts of numbers, because look at me. I have been doing this now since 2011. I have 30,000 subscribers, and not even 10% of them will watch one of my videos, and yet I still continue to do so. Because like my channel says, uniting the people one person at a time. So just imagine over the years if I would have given up out of frustration, how many people would have missed out on what they feel is good information. So we can continue to look with blinders on. We can continue to look the other way. We can continue to hope and dream and listen to these people that are telling you that God sent Trump down to save the world. I would ask those people, which God are they referring to? And Unimatrix001 says, Chris, I don't agree with you. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just stating my opinion. Whether it resonates with you or not is up to you. But here's the thing. I won't attack you for disagreeing. I wish there were plenty of other people in this world that would give that same courtesy. So you don't have to agree with me. I'm stating my point of view. Whether it resonates with you or not is up to you. But people will find out the hard way about situations when there's nothing they can do about it. And trust me when I say, I hope I'm wrong. Because these are the times I don't mind being wrong. But we'll find out. So, as of now, Hillary Clinton's going to be walking around a free woman. And if you and I did what they did, even 1/10 of what they did, we'd probably have a day trial at best before we get locked up and thrown the key away. Must be nice to live in their pampered world. Shame we allow them to continue it. So, thanks for watching, guys and gals. Be good to one another. Think for yourselves. Don't be afraid to listen to other people, but have your own frame of mind. Think for yourself, and don't let anybody control your life. You control it. Have a great night, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.